Joining us right now, another political groundbreaker. Sharron Pratt was the mayor of Washington, D.C. She took on an entrenched incumbent and then Marion Barry. She was the first African-American woman to head a major U.S. city when she was elected mayor of Washington, D.C. in 1990. We go way back. And Sharron, are we looking at something that you started, others started decades ago, the rise of women who say they're just not going to take it anymore?
Well, it's very heartening to see. And I think Kamala Harris is just about as perfect a candidate as you could want at this particular time in American history. And I can well remember, I guess throughout American history, we've seen the Seneca Falls movement along with the abolitionist movement. And then when I came along, of course, it was the 20th century, the feminist movement along with the post-1965 Voting Rights Act and an expansion of political empowerment for African Americans. So to have a marriage of those two in the embodiment of this one is, you know, sort of a perfect moment.
Sharron, you know, there is something that you and Kamala Harris share, which is, believe it or not, an alma mater. You're both Howard University graduates. You're both AKAs. Are we sleeping on the fact that not only are we looking at the possibility that we could possibly see the nation's first African-American female president, the first Asian-American female president, but also the first president to graduate from an HBCU?
I think it's terrific. You know, when she was nominated and chosen to be vice president, all of a sudden mainstream America and mainstream media began to comprehend there was such a thing as HBCU. People were sort of stumbling over the acronym, but there they were. And it's such an important part of American history, an important part of the contribution to this country. So we're very excited about it. And suddenly the world knows about the Divine Nine as well. So we're very, very proud of Kamala Harris.
Final question before I let you go. What do you think the major challenges that she faces as she ramps up her campaign? I can already show you that the numbers are with her. She held 2 events tonight. This arena is packed, 15,000 at the Fiserv Arena in Milwaukee. What are her major challenges in turning that energy into actual votes?
Well, her major challenge is sustaining what has now become a movement. You know, there was pent-up energy and angst about whether, in fact, we would slip into a fascist state because there was concern that President Biden, who's been a consequential president, but who didn't seem to be entirely up to the task this time. And I think, frankly, he has proven his value to us with all that he's done. To sustain that momentum, because there's no question about it, there is a hardcore base for Donald Trump. Even the fact that he is the nominee, when in fact he led an insurrection, which makes him a traitor in the minds of most. I mean, he's got 34 convictions, and he clearly is somewhat incoherent these days, and yet he is the nominee of one of the major parties of America. So we cannot underestimate that resistance is there to maybe a more progressive notion of America, a more expansive notion of who constitutes we the people.
Sharron Pratt, the first black woman to lead a major U.S. city, Washington, D.C. Back in 1991, my dear friend Sharron, good to see you.